a young girl who miraculously survived after the deadly tsunami, who destroyed the entire Hong Kong, survives for 5 years in a dilapidated building in the middle of a flooded city. Every minute she recalls the terrible day when a giant wave flooded her city. There is nothing left, but she is still alive.
My name is Alex, and welcome to my channel.
Asha wakes up from a permanent nightmare in which she runs away from the water, throws her bed with trash, and, taking a jar of conservatives and a little dry noodles, it goes to the roof, where it has collected drinking water reserves and a stove is arranged. She boils tea, looking at empty boxes of houses around, and then he takes out the radio and listens to waves, among which only one offers people salvation, promising a refuge, food, and drinking. Asha listens to the coordinates already memorized, and then takes on daily cases. It measures the remaining water in plastic bottles and writes the results in the notebook, where there are dates of the arrival of rains. And then it flies a small portion of noodles with boiling water and eats it, sitting at the parapet, recalling dinner in an evening club surrounded by friends. Later, armed with binoculars, she examines the surroundings. The house collapses nearby, but this sight is no longer of interest to her. But the imprudence of people surviving in a neighboring house causes her disapproval. Then she notices a box in the water, descends down, and, with the help of a home-made crossbow, is hiding it and pulls it to the window, snatching from the mouth of the shark. Inside is an intended bottle of alcohol, which Asha uses to rinse the wound received during the hunt. She bandages her hand and drinks a couple of sips to relieve pain. Well, probably also stress, given the situation. In the afternoon, a woman arranges bath procedures as much as possible. All her things are hidden in the holes, disguised as ventilation or electric box, so that no one can see that a person lives here. On this day, hanging underwear, she takes on observation and immediately realizes that her neighbors were attacked. She sees several boats and immediately realizes that she was noticed. Asha hurries into her apartment, destroying his possible traces, and hides behind the double wall of the cabinet. Soon a group of pirates comes to her house, one of whom assures that he saw someone on this roof. Meanwhile, without finding anything, the bandits leave. The night comes. Asha again sees water and sinking sister in a dream. Waking up, she takes on the usual things, restoring yesterday's destruction, and again rises to the roof. Seeing the next box, Ashiva climbs it and among rotten fruits discovers a small jar of jam, which is taken to eat right with a finger. But then she sees another box on which the girl's body lies. However, Asha is already used to such a spectacle, and it does not particularly touch it. She returns to her room, where her tea warms up and suddenly feels behind her movement, but she thinks that it just seemed to her. Later, fitting on her mattress, she hears a children's cough, but the inspection of the room again gives nothing. Then Asha goes to wash and, leaving the soap, departs for a moment. And then the girl grabs a piece of soap. Asha reaches out to grab her, but the girl, hitting her, slips away. While she comes to her senses, Small professionally cleans the apartment, easily finding all her caches. Asha recalls how she and her friend went to the store, and she bought his half-sister a jacket because she often took her jeans. Asha then complained about the conservatism of her parents and dreamed of living alone. Well, now, dreams come true. She is completely alone. Then Asha sees scattered products and understands that the guest found its reserves. Getting angry, the girl goes to the room where the girl hid and finds her sleeping. Anger also passes. In the morning, she prepares one portion of noodles for herself. Meanwhile, the girl wakes up and, like Asha, hides products in a bed under a pile of trash. And then he makes his way into the girl's room and finds her cache, where she stores family pictures, but the girl shuggs her and she runs away. Later, Asha returns to the kitchen and resolutely brews another portion of noodles. Taking banks with food, she goes to the girl's room, mentally returning on the day when she gave her sister a jacket. However, it immediately became clear that the parents gave the younger family necklace to their grandmother, who was supposed to go the eldest. Well, by the way, yes, the eternal problem of the elders, they don't get anything. Now this necklace hangs on Ashi's chest, and she intends to make friends with the baby, but she does not answer her questions and has to leave. And only after her departure, the girl takes a jar of noodles. Later, she returns to Asha's stolen product from her. And next morning, the girl again makes 2 portions and leaves with her jar on the roof, where the girl finds her. She monkey, repeating the movements of Asha. In the end, She drops the noodles on her face, and they both laugh at the situation. At night, the girl finds her bed, covered with pure linen, and cries from unusual care. But when Asha wakes up, she pretends not to cry at all. The girl admits that earlier she roared herself every night, and so says that she misses her mother very much. But she will build a boat and float to her. And her name is Hey Hey. From this day, the girl and the girl are trying to build relationships, although the baby is very wayward. So, becoming interested in tape on the door, she ripens him and the door immediately slams. Asha falls into despair, but Hey Hey calmly opens the lock with a wire. She tries to convey the rules of survival to her, but the girl is more attracted to her necklace. The time after Ash discovers his loss, and of course, asks Hey Hey about it. But then she hears voices and notices the pirates. Asha runs into the Hey Hey room and shows her how they are smashing their neighbors who were taken by surprise. She later admits that in the event of the arrival of bandits, she has a shelter. Asha asks to give the necklace, but the child assures that she did not take it. In the morning, Asha finds her behind the washing of the sexes and immediately recalls her sister, who also always waited for her approval. At night, the girl again sees in a dream a lot of drowned people, among whom is her half-sister. Hey Hey wakes her up from a nightmare. Later, the girl notices an apartment that Asha never included. She explains that it smells terribly there, and it is better not to look there. We are again transferred to the apartment of our parents. In those days, there were reports of floods that were erased from the face of the earth by whole countries that the stepmother ordered to turn off. On that day, the father recalled that they needed to visit the grave of their ancestors, but the girl had other plans. The next scandal begins, and Asha announces that she intends to leave this house, if only to hear it. In the present, Hey Hey catches messages with the coordinates and runs to Asha, reporting that they need to find a boat, but the woman explains that they do not know where and how much to swim. And whoever sends these signals is also unknown. Hey Hey accuses her of cowardice, once again saying that she did not take a necklace and leaves. Later, Asha finds the girl for building a raft from plastic bottles, and she shows her a rocket launcher found in ruins. Asha hides her in a room, and the girl assures that it is also unsafe here and promises to protect her friend. Asha recalls how her sister caught up with her on the street after she left the house and refuses to return because the stepmother rummages in her things. And the girl is now in her jeans. But she is not angry and asks to help catch a taxi. In the morning, Asha will be hee-hee because it starts rain and she needs help. They go to the roof, where many different dishes are placed where rainwater accumulates. Together, they merge it into bottles and warm them for washing. And then Hey Hey finds Ashi's necklace, who has broken the clasp, which is why it was lost. Later, she tries to say this to the girl, but she suddenly declares that she was glad to disappear, who reminded her of the bad, and offers to celebrate the rainy season. The girl runs away for groceries, and the girl sees a lost photo with her sister. She again recalls the past life, and although everyone died, they are at least alive. The couple has dinner and goes to bed. And under the pillow, Asha finds a necklace and understands that she had lost it herself. In the morning, she makes a strong fruit for Hey Hey, and she just squeals with delight, seeing the result. And the girl recalls how she said goodbye to his sister near the house when a giant wave fell on the city. They rush to run. The next day, they collect supplies when headphones jump out of the Hey Hey player and loud music is heard throughout the building. Asha rushes to turn off the player praying so that no one can hear this sound and decides to postpone the departure. They mask the raft with all kinds of junk and return upstairs. In the morning, Asha watches the ocean and then takes out hot food to the and then outside the window, they hear screams. The couple quickly masks housing, after which Asha hides Hey Hey in the closet. And he promises that after the bandits leave, she will be in the apartment where she stinks strongly. The pirates begin a thorough search. Asha enters the apartment, which turns out to be her own, and the semi-decomposed bodies of her parents smell. She hides, plugging her nose and recalling the last scandal. Meanwhile, one bandit enters the Ashy apartment and, overcoming an attack of vomiting, searches it. But, having found corpses, he runs away. She recalls how she and her sister ran up the stairs, fleeing the water. And one of the gang members, still a boy, at that time, finds a closet where Hey Hey hides. Asha hears screams announcing the find, and again recalls how she ran up the stairs while her sister asked to wait for her. But when the girl had already hit the roof, the girls were not behind, and the grandmother's necklace was found in Asha's jacket. Then, sitting on the roof poured with water, she screamed with pain of loss, but could no longer do anything. Now, she hears Hei Hei's voice, who points to this apartment, and Ashu is found and dragged to the exit. Later, one of the bandits intends to force her to everyone, but the captain orders to do business. The associated Ashu is taken to the parapet, and she sees below the boat, on which Hei Hei is already located, and all the other bandits who load their food supplies. Asha notices a disc fragment and pretends to fall. The bandit is trying to raise it and gets a cut. He drowns Ashu, and she finds a hidden rocket launcher and shoots in his face. They diverge around the apartments, trying to find the girl. And when one man finds her, Asha clogs him with an electric guitar. Taking a knife, she continues to hunt. Nevertheless, he grabs the girl, but she dozes, takes out to the knife, and ends the case. The third, she straightens out with a woman, closing her in a glowing kitchen. Well, according to the law of the genre, with the last strongest leader, it is found in the corridor. And when it seems that she was about to die, her lamp comes under her arm, and when the light is lit again, the bandit turns out to be dead. But there is a shot. It turns out that the youngest member of the gang opened fire. Asha runs to the roof. He catches up, but when the boy is there, the girl jumps out onto the stairs and slams the iron door. He begs not to leave him alone. However, when Ash already decides to open, shoots at the door, and she just turns around and leaves. Asha descends down and sees the last pirate that will guard Hei Hei. She shoots him from the crossbow, but misses. The girl understands what happened, and while the bandit peers into the water, trying to understand, where did this come in? Hei Hei pushes him, and he falls, but the girl also flies after. Asha jumps after her. The man dies in the mouth of the shark while Asha and Hei Hei are chosen on the boat. She admits that she understands the girl, because it is difficult to make a good choice when you have only terrible options. And that this is less evil, as the Witcher said. They float out of the city, and in the morning the girl wakes up and sees a girl who treats her with a jam. They turn on a radio and take a course on a sounding voice, promising salvation. But they will receive it or not. For us, it remains a mystery. The film is not good, but not horror. He is not bad. There is, and what to think about, and to permeate, and to be taken to do with the fact that such a tsunami in the world will not happen. And the parallels of what is happening with the past remind of how people do not value simple things.